I'm Officer Brumfield. I'm with the DeSoto Police Department. I've been with the department for 18 years. What brought me here is I have a story to tell, and I think my story can help out other officers. Within my 18 years, I've been in 2 shootings, almost a third within 3 years' time. My first shooting ended up being a suicide by cop situation. I noticed within myself, I started to kind of ostracize myself from things that I would normally do. My dreams were very vivid. Started drinking just to go to sleep. Fast forward to my second shooting, which was within 2 years' time. Guy shoots up his ex-wife's house 2 days in a row. Second day, we got in behind him, pulled into a hotel parking lot. I could see the gun as he opened the door and we're giving our commands, and he looks back with the gun in his hand, opens the door, stands up, turns around, and it was either handle the situation or take the alternative. After that happened again, that was within 2 years' time of each other. From a standpoint, when I look back on it, I emotionally shut down. And this is excluding all the things that you see from violent accidents to kids being killed, or you go every summer, the trauma that you go through and knowing that some kid is gonna drown, and you have to correlate seeing that person or that kid. You might have kids that same age, and you see that kid that you have to deal with, and you're trying to bring them back to life, but you can't. Not only go through the trauma that you're seeing, but then you put it together when you hear that parents cries out. Often you guys deal with seeing people taking their last breath on accidents on the highway. And again, you might correlate that to somebody in your family because they're the same age. After 18 years of time, and some officers do it sooner, you become numb to emotions. In August, the Resiliency program came to our department. As they were talking, saying some of the things within that 2 hours time, it made me reflect on certain things they were talking about. If you do not have anybody that's been through the same experience that you're around, what is a problem, you don't notice it's a problem, but not realizing there's things that you haven't processed. And there's a lot of things that I haven't processed. After taking this class, I went home and I asked my wife, I was like, how do you think I am from an emotional standpoint? And she was like, she gave me the business. You don't share any emotions, nothing seems like it affects you, nothing bothers you. Sometimes I don't want to talk to you because it's like talking to a wall. You don't have any response. And me inside, I'm thinking, I think I'm emotional. I think I share things with you. And when I went back on the self-evaluation, I'm like, well, maybe the way that I'm conveying my emotions is not getting across. But then it goes back to the situations that I've been through. You're trying to make abnormal normal. It isn't normal to shoot somebody, okay? It isn't an everyday occurrence, but as officers, it's something that we might be faced with doing. I'd rather for you to go through the situation than to die. All across the United States, you look out there, and we're being microscoped for every little thing that we're doing. When on a video, they have a short portion, maybe 10 seconds of a news flash because the media is trying to make a story, get ratings, sell commercials, but we're talking about everyone's lives that are involved. And all in one day, you can see somebody getting shot, you can see death of somebody's parents, you can see death of a small child, whether they've been raped, molested, and you're seeing that all in one shift. But then you might go on another call where a guy is having a verbal disagreement about the pricing in the store, and he's arguing with the clerk, and the officer may snap on him like, what the fuck are you complaining about? Whereas, and that will turn into a complaint, but really it's not that this is a bad officer, but this officer has not been addressed with all the trauma that they have had over a period of time. Rewind back to August when this program came. I am so thankful to our department for inviting them. I'm so thankful for our government for allowing this grant, because this is something that we really need. And talking to the therapist, she went back to my childhood, and I realized in talking that I've always wanted to serve people. I've always wanted to preserve life. And I didn't know why, but she's helping me to understand it. But she's also helped me to understand that I have shut down emotionally. It allowed me to realize that there's a lot of things about the things that happened prior to my shootings and the things that I deal with now that I haven't totally processed things, and it affects your life and it affects your personal life. You can do better as an officer. You can make better decisions, but your mind has to be right at all times to make those decisions. We're not in control of what we see. We are somewhat in control of what we do based on our experience. And in order for us to start winning more, I'm glad that the public, that the government has started to finally realize that we as officers, we need that help. Even if you haven't been through a shooting and you've been on traumatic accident scenes or things of that nature, you need to get the help. I'm talking to especially you alpha males, you SWAT guys, you top cops, you guys that are assigned to special units, especially you vice cops. You have to get help. You know somebody in your department that used to be this kick-ass officer and now they're retired on duty. Have you ever thought about it may not be just they don't want to be that good officer again? Have you ever thought that they've had so many problems on the job that they're having a shit-ass time off the job? Because this job will tear down your family, because the day you put on this badge and you carry that gun, you are no longer the same. You're held to a higher standard, but I hope your departments can give you the tools that you need to go beyond that standard. And guess what? Most of your departments out there, all the people that are working are guys between 21 and 25 years of age. No, not to you guys, but you don't have enough life experience, and you veteran officers, think about what you were like at 21 to 25 years of age. If you were not in the military, your discipline, your thought patterns is not there yet. And so you veteran officers, really getting on the soapbox with you veteran officers, you guys, a lot of you won't say anything to these guys because you feel like you can't talk to them, or you're so disgruntled with your department that you don't want to invest the time. But guess what? You were that same officer at a certain point. You had that bright look in your eyes. You wanted to go out there and conquer crime. You wanted to save everybody. So the only thing that has changed with that dream that you had at the beginning is you've changed. You've seen so much, you've become a different person. I want to let you know you're still that same person, but you need to get back into what makes you tick. Again, I'm reaching out, hey guys, I shut down, I can admit it. I done been through the fire and may still go through some more, because I'm still out there, guys. I'm still on SWAT. I'm still out here serving my public. And if you're not serious about serving your public or doing your job, that's when you need to step out and give it to somebody else. Turn that badge in. But if you're gonna be out here, do it to the best of your ability. Go out there and get the help.